Hello everybody, this is Kevin. I'm going to give you some feedback or a perfect or a really good example that Ashley has posted for this week's discussion board where she had to talk about Mama and Kofor. First of all, I want to look at here. I do not feel that Mama nor Kofor should have responded differently to these immature, disrespectful acts. Perfect topic sentence. I know exactly she's going to explain her reasons why throughout the rest of the discussion board post. This is the initial post. In this sentence she says, I personally feel that both women showed an equal level of restraint. It's a really good sentence, and for the discussion boards, I personally feel that is okay. However, if this were a more structured, formal essay, I don't need to see I feel, I think, in my opinion, because I know these are all of your words. However, for the discussion board, I think it's great. For Ashley's first in-text citation, she follows ICE very well. ICE, introduce the quote, C, cite the quote, E, then explain it in your own words. How does it fit well into your discussion board prompt? I do want to say here, Mama showed amazing restraint because even though the girls continued to mock her, she sang on. No louder than before, but no softer either, no slower or faster. Here, she introduced the quote, Mama showed amazing. She gave the quote, and then she cited it. She cited Angelou, who is the author. Page 30 is where it came from, and then she put the period at the end. This means that this sentence is ended and the reader knows you're going to continue. Then she says, Mama was aware of the repercussions. Now she's explaining how this quote fits in. She's explaining it in her own words. Notice that she just didn't drop the quote in. She made it flow nicely. Please pay attention to ICE because I take points off for that. ICE. Introduce, cite, explain. Let's go to her next example. Though she clearly states, I had really wanted to push the jerk into the swimming pool. Kofor 235. Now we know that Kofor is the author. 235 is the page number that it came from in the essay or article from the book. Here she put a comma because she's saying though, comma, and then she continues with the independent clause. So what she did here is she put a quote inside of her own complex sentence. That's why there's no period here after Kofor 235. And notice also Kofor 235, there's no P period for page, there are no commas. Now, I wanted to say something too, that if Ashley had said in Kofor's article, the myth of the Latin, blah, 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 then she would not have to include Kofor here, because she would have we would have already known that Kofor wrote this. So she just put 235, we'd know, oh, it came from page 235, and then we could look back to see that Kofor was the author. That way we're not being redundant. So, in other words, if you don't put the author in the article title, then put the author in your parentheses, your parenthetical citation. If you do put the author and the name of the article, then you don't need to put the author's name again. It's redundant. Okay, let's continue. Here she's going to talk about Mama, and I love the way she said Mama on the other hand. I like the way she put on the other hand in the middle here instead of starting the sentence with it. That's fine. Really well written. And then let's take a look. We know she had a topic sentence. We know her support is great. It's logical. It flows nicely. She's staying totally to her topic sentence. She's not going off topic. She's not being irrelevant. She has great unity. And then here, in the end, comma, they were both very commendable for their ability to not allow these acts to bring them down. Though some may view their silence as a weakness, I see their restraint reactions as great victories. What a great closing. And if you notice, she did not use you anywhere in this discussion post. Please read this. Pause it. Read it. Ashley, phenomenal job. This is so well written. This is the type of writing I should see in English 110. So for the students who are not passing the discussion boards yet, follow this in an example and you'll do well. Okay, and let's look at her works cited. Works cited, she used works because S plural, she has 2 entries. Look here, Angelou Maya, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, it's the book. Book titles are in italics. New York, Random House, 2009 print. Ashley had 1969 here, and I see that a lot. No, look in the front cover of your book to see what edition or copyright you have. I just chose 2009 because my book on the inside cover, as I grab it, like you can see it, is 2009. And then it says print. I know that she actually read the print. She did not read this from the internet, or else it would have said web. Next, Kofer, Judith Ortiz, The Myth of the Latin Woman. I just met a girl named Maria. Put the period and the quotes. This is in quotes because this is the name of the essay or the article. It is not a book title, so just put it in quotes. Where did this come from? It came from the Patterns for College Writing, a Rhetorical Reader and Guide. This is our textbook. It's the 12th edition. Who are the editors? Lori and Stephen. And then where was it published? Boston by Bedford, 2012. And again, she has print. I know that she did not take this article by Ortiz from the internet. She actually used the book. I wanted to say one more thing. Here, Andrew Lamaya, if you're having trouble, look in the back of the book. Look under entry for one author of a book. Here, you're going to look for an anthology. So you're going to look for an essay, which is The Myth, and an anthology. And the anthology is the Patterns for College Writing. So both of these are in the back of your book, or you can look them up online. Ashley, very good job. Everyone, please follow this and you'll do really well. Thank you.